Hey yo, we're back at Social Capital. Make this a third time, what they call a hat trick, right?
That's right.
We've got some new guys with us. Well, one new guy with us, but we've got the whole Halloween getup going here, so we figured it'd be a good thing to come back out and celebrate with an amazing holiday.
Do you want to explain what happened the last time we tried to record?
Something to do with the technical difficulties, the mics. I don't know. I was yelling too loud and it just blew out.
You drowned
the mics.
everybody out.
Okay.
And all the farting. That was an issue too.
Yeah. Oh, always, right? But yeah, we're here again, trying to pick up some momentum here. We've got to our very far left, we got Lucas Flanagan, I wouldn't call him the lone wolf, but he's one of the few Wolves fans in Oklahoma City that we know of.
Yeah, it's a small pack.
I like this. Play on words this is going to be great. So, cheers to you for coming out and joining us.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
And I'm sure we're not going to spend a whole hour on Wolves, but we'll get to you. Yeah.
No one wants to talk about United.
We're really looking for more clicks, more views. Okay, it's next to me on my left, no introduction needed, right? The Man U guy that wins all the trophy. I don't know.
I mean, we win still, but not the big ones.
Yeah. Then,
not what we want.
Yeah. Then Vaden Incognito, no EPL gear.
Yeah, no Arsenal shirt today.
I made that
Just
very
OKC
clear.
repping.
Yeah, I made that very clear.
Got the
I wouldn't have
Thunder
that.
shirt on underneath, 89er hat on top.
Right.
So.
You
OKC
don't need a
rep
wardrobe breakdown.
So no, Trent has not been replaced unless these guys test out really well, right? Because he's got stuff going on, can't make it tonight. But we're back, and international break's been going on, so it hasn't necessarily been quiet. But I guess that's where we kind of start. Who watched the USA matches?
I did.
You did?
I
You did?
The first one.
Yeah, I watched some of the Panama match, and obviously the second one didn't go our way, but curious to hear everyone's thoughts on the initial Pochettino era. You can't really judge too much, obviously, with 2 matches in, but what did you like? What did you see? What do you think?
I mean, I thought the effort, but I feel like anytime there's a new manager, you're going to get more effort. But I thought the effort was there in the first game. Last night, it was in patches. Some of the patterns of play looked pretty good, but I don't know how much of that's just down to individuals versus they still look like they're trying to figure out what he wants them to do as a team.
Of course.
So
we sent McKenzie and Pulisic home. Is that right before this match?
Yeah.
They were hurt or
Well,
banged
and
up or whatever.
He said like one of his goals was actually to get those players back in good shape, back to their team so they could actually build some good minutes.
Yeah.
And really work for those other teams. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Pochettino is going to be an amazing fit, amazing coach. Can't judge it off first 2 games.
Right.
Yeah, we lost to Mexico for the first time since 2019. I mean, that's almost unheard of, especially in international play with the U.S. And that's not taking anything away from Greg. Yeah, it is, because I hated Greg Berhalter. And I saw the tweets last night. Oh, Greg never lost to Mexico, and I'm like, yeah, so what? He had a super team with him. Pochettino literally sent 3 superstars home. One was injured. I mean, you didn't have Dest back there because he's still injured.
Was this at the Azteca?
No, it wasn't at the Azteca. It was at some different stadium, but it's
It was
a
in
beautiful,
Guadalajara.
beautiful stadium.
Have we ever won
well,
in
yeah,
Mexico
Guadalajara.
though?
It was in Guadalajara.
Yeah,
and to be fair, that first goal, there's nothing Poch can do that. Like Matt Turner got most of his fingers
hand
on it,
yeah.
and still didn't stop it. It was a good free kick.
Yeah.
Was that Jimenez?
Yeah.
Your guy?
Jimenez.
Your former guy?
Your former guy.
I'm making connections all over the place.
I always liked Jimenez, so I'm excited to see. Like, he looks like he's doing much better for Fulham. It looks like he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't really want him to do well against the U.S. for Mexico, but I am excited to see him come back into some form. But yeah, I mean, Matt Turner should have probably dealt with that better than he did. It was still a good free kick.
The Arsenal Matt Turner would have saved that.
Did he even get in to prove that?
In the Europa League, he did.
Okay.
We still lost in that competition.
Yeah, it's good to see him in his bag. Sometimes you just need a good crack in the head to get in form, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely good to see him back. He went down, for quite a count after that. So
it is good to see him back. But I think everyone, like I said, this is probably a pretty quick conversation because let's face it, there's not much we can go off until he really gets his hooks in. And I guess in November we have some qualifiers. Do we have
Nations
Nations League?
League. Nations League,
League qualifiers that will mean more than what we just saw. That will count for more and
trophy on the line and everything.
Correct. So cheers to Poch for. I mean, I think we made the right hire. There were some names on that list I did not want, and I think he's got the passion and the fire, and he's not a gimmick manager. He doesn't have this sit back and counter whatever. He's a pretty balanced guy overall, and we'll see.
It'll be really interesting to see how he does in international competitions versus what he's been used to, which is club level and Premier League.
And I think the whole goal is to just reinsert some passion. I think the accusation was that Greg was buddies with all these guys, and that did they really know how to kick into high gear when they needed to, or were they spoiled? And so Poch is obviously not going to let that kind of stuff happen. So okay, close the chapter on that.
Should we talk about the England hire?
Let's do that. The Tuchel.
As of today, Thomas Tuchel.
I've seen some English media not real excited about it. They're not happy.
I heard it German.
I would be ecstatic.
It doesn't seem like a good fit at all for me.
For international play, I think I would be ecstatic for it. Because he took a somewhat depleted Chelsea team and won the Champions League against Man City.
Yeah, I think in international play it could work.
Yeah, and that's why I like the Pochettino.
I don't know how much different he'll be than Southgate.
How much has the world changed?
He might be a little bit more problematic. I think he's going to pragmatic, but maybe he goes forward more. But I don't know.
It's kind of like the Pochettino hire for us. Like, obviously he's ex-Chelsea and ex-Spurs, so as an Arsenal fan, I didn't like it at first. But again, at the same time, I'm like, okay, it's the U.S. I think he can do. If he can take the Spurs to the Champions League final.
What are you saying?
I think he can. Take the U.S. semifinals, maybe in the World Cup here in 2 years.
As much as they dogged on Southgate, though, Tuchel has some shoes to fill because Southgate consistently got them into the semis or the finals of the competitions, the big competitions. So Tuchel, if he doesn't live up to that in the first, what's his big stage next? The World Cup?
World Cup, yeah.
So if he doesn't do that, at least the semis, I feel like with the squad they have, they're probably going to feel like it's a letdown.
But how much has the world changed that England has a German manager? I mean, there are guys that were World War II people that are rolling in their graves.
Yeah,
right.
This is crazy.
You might have to ask some of the guys from 1941 to 1945.
We've achieved peace, right?
Right.
Finally. So, I mean, we'll see on that. He's an odd bird, man. He's a weird dude. I don't know. I never really liked him. I felt like he was a polarizing figure, but maybe he's a fit, and the only way is to let it play out, right? When's he start? Is he?
Well, I heard he doesn't start till 25.
Oh, okay.
So, which is kind of strange. Like, he got a break coming up that, why not take advantage of that? But
maybe he wants to continue to enjoy his break that he currently has.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is. It's not like the English aren't familiar with him, right? He was at Chelsea.
Right.
He's been in the league. He's a strange dude, man.
I heard someone asked him if he was going to sing the national anthem, and he said basically that he was told it's optional for the manager to sing it or not, and he said he was undecided.
Well, and not only that, but I got a text from Lester Jake, the Lester fan, and the 10 German Bombers chant is out now. If you've ever heard that, that's done. Yeah. And if it's not, that's going to be really effed up. Right?
I may or may not have been in that chant with Harvey and the others for the Euro final back in July.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say yes or no to that.
So, they had to hire someone. Pep always got thrown around in that mix, but he's not really ready to go there. He's got a job to do. And they can't really wait. Right. So.
Right. Lucas, what were you going to say?
I was just I think that says something about the English in general, their relationship with Tuchel, that they even asked that question. Because as far as singing the national anthem, because would you have asked that if it was Klopp?
Right.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
He won't be doing it. Let's
the
put it that way.
English media is on their own playing field. They just do whatever the heck they want. It seems
I
like.
get
Throw
most of
anybody under the
our
bus.
rundown material from the Sun.
Oh yeah? That's a good place to do it. The Liverpool fans will love that.
Right. So yeah, international stuff is all kind of coming together. I mean, now is the time that everyone's got to establish themselves for the World Cup. Start getting coaches in line, players in line, get your identity, and make it happen. I mean, it's going to be here before we know it. Be here before the energy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever we're going to call ourselves.
Is the energy coming back yet? Maybe.
Well, it could be a complete rebrand. We were talking about this before the show, and that, what did we say, 27 was perhaps the target
I
date.
think 2027, because you got to build the stadium first.
Whether or not we're the energy or not is a whole is
Well,
up for debate.
Man United are trying to win the Premier League by 2028, so exciting times right around that area. You know, it's gonna be good.
And Arsenal are trying not to bottle the league before 2028, so we're all in exciting times right now.
It is. And you know, speaking of all this stuff, this is something everyone's starting to notice. Players are getting hurt left and right. All these competitions are starting to really take hold.
Yeah.
It's ugly. I mean, there are players that they're not going to last, and the powers that be are just going to keep running people through, hoping that they develop more talent, get more talent, and guys are going to have shorter careers.
Right.
It sucks. And at what point do the teams, the players revolt against it?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, as it comes a time where they're going to have to.
I mean, there's been rumors of a strike, right? And
Yeah.
I think it's going to take something like that. No one's going to want less money until
Right.
they can't make any money.
Right.
So.
Or just opt out, Harry Kane or whoever. Opt out of Nations League qualifiers. I'm sure he wants to play. I'm sure he wants to represent, but at what expense, right? And so
Yeah.
politics usually wins. So,
Yeah.
But then again, look at the Super League they tried to form. There was a revolt against that, and it went away.
Yep.
Yeah.
The strike went, and I think it lasted for 36 hours, maybe. A little bit longer than that, then it was over. So
Okay.
I'd say boycott Nations League, all this other crap that you're doing.
Yeah.
One international break in the fall, one in the spring.
Yeah.
Call it good.
We've already had 2 in the EPL season, 2 international breaks. It feels like none of the teams have got a chance to get a foothold.
Yeah.
And here we are, we've had 2 international breaks.
And a third next month.
Yeah.
Exactly. So settle in, boys.
Yep. Two international breaks and only 7 Premier League games
Yeah,
have
it's
been
pathetic.
played.
Yeah.
Pathetic. No wonder Spurs are down on the table.
No wonder
Otherwise-
United are
Nice to
garbage.
be
Yeah, everyone has an excuse, right?
Would y'all like to hear where Man United is? I think I do. Man United are 14th.
Oh, a nice transition into the EPL. I like it. Yeah, I guess we'll start from the left to the right. Lucas, the question has been, well, how did you pick Wolves? And obviously, you can lead right into the fact that you're playing City this weekend.
Right.
So, which I think you've done fairly well against them.
Well, we'll see if we can do it again. We did it last year. But first of all, so I came to English Premier League relatively late. I think it was 2017, 2018 season that I was at home.
That's when all the City fans came to it too.
Yeah. Well, see, I was watching at home and watching Mo Salah start to break some records, and he really got me in. And so was Liverpool was actually kind of my first team. But then when I started hanging out with
seats.
We're going to edit that out.
when I hung out with more and more people, I started feeling, kind of got that, oh, you're a fair weather friend feeling.
Oh, you met Jimmy Bunn and you decided not to go with him.
Jimmy Bunn.
That's it.
So I was like, you know what, yeah, fine.
Jimmy.
I'll stay clear of any conversation like that, and I'll just pick a newly promoted team. And Wolves were everybody's second team at the time when they first came up.
This was Nuno. Was Nuno there?
Nuno. Yeah, it was Nuno.
When he was a good coach.
Yeah. So picked them, and then didn't look back. They finished 7th back to back, and then it's all set after that.
I mean, did you guys get into Europa League with Nuno?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is after that first year they actually got into Europa League.
Yeah.
And everybody thought that they would suffer like a lot of people do that second year, but they were able to go back to back 7th place, even playing Europa, and it was I'm trying to remember. I want to say they made it to at least the quarters, maybe the semis.
Yeah.
In Europa.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I knew one of the years y'all made it pretty far.
yeah.
I was scared to play y'all in the Premier League. I'm like, I don't want to play Wolves because they look dangerous. And
Yeah, they've had that reputation a lot. They have been giant killers. So when that season, that schedule came out this year, it was like, man, that's rough, that's tough. But maybe we'll pick out one or two. Hasn't worked out.
Well, funny story is last year they swept Tottenham, and we had a Skydance away day with like 45 Spurs fans there at Skydance. The lone wolf was there.
Oh, nice.
He was cordial. He was nice. He was kind of like
You celebrated very.
he did like a little
late.
round of applause,
Yeah.
but he was cool.
It was,
So you didn't take your top off and just run around?
I
Wait,
know.
you didn't knee slide in front of them? Because that would have been amazing.
I know when I'm an away fan going into the home section, I know how to act.
Lucas, you blew it. I wanted to hear an epic story of you taking your shirt off and knee sliding right in front of them.
And you've been to the Molyneux, right? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Molyneux. Yeah.
You took Tyler, a Spurs fan, with you, right?
Yeah. So we
tried to convert him, and
Yeah. No, it's a real quick story about being an away fan in a home section.
Yeah.
That same trip, Tyler and I watched Wolves play Tottenham, and they were sitting. We had pretty good seats, but the away fans were just like right back up over here. And so after a goal, they're all celebrating and chanting and everything. And I'm trying to like just get a little bit of a picture of them, being real slick about it. I look back later, all I've got is just Tyler's face being pissed.
And then you guys, I think it was when you went to the Molyneux, or one of the matches, because Arsenal, was it Arsenal?
It was,
'Cause
yeah.
Arsenal Andy Conyers was up there, and he got kicked out of a bar for showing colors.
Yeah.
He had like a hoodie on, and I think he did a little.
never heard that
Yeah,
story
he did a
from
little
him.
flash
That's
or something. They're
crazy.
like, "You're out of here."
Yeah, no, he
Really?
had a
I've
jacket.
never heard that story.
Yeah, he
Never
had a
heard that
jacket
story.
on over his kit, and then he was getting hot, so he had unzipped it and walked up to the bar to get a drink, and they're like, "You got to get out of here," and he's like, and he's trying to tell us, "Hey, I just got kicked out," and they're like, "Keep on moving."
Wow. Arsenal?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay then. That's
So
fun.
anyway,
They take it real serious over there.
Where
yeah,
are you on
sure.
the table? Do you like? Is it Gary
Oh.
O'Neill? Is it?
Yeah, Gary.
You
yeah.
like him?
Yeah, no, he's a good coach. Definitely, he's got visions. Like every coach that goes in there tries to go play back four. And he tried to force it. Some people are starting to blame him now for that, for us propping up the table.
Oh, you're 20th?
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a bad
Oh,
way.
no,
I
no,
didn't
yeah,
realize
yeah,
that.
They're rock bottom.
That's
Good
it.
Lord.
Everybody's been like, well, once the schedule clears up, they'll be fine. I don't know. We don't have much of a defense. All of our defense, what little defense we had got hurt. So we'll probably go a back three against City.
Wow.
We'll see. It'll be either Doherty or maybe even Andre, the new guy from Brazil. Some people are saying that he can play. He's a midfielder, but some people say he can play, in the back there. So
Like I
we'll see.
said, we're only 7 matches in, as
Yeah.
we said. So I mean, it's not.
30
you don't have
31 long
you
weeks
don't have
to
a
go.
death sentence yet, and there's plenty more teams probably worse than you. We'll see, right? You get to play Spurs twice, so there's
There you
6
go.
points.
United.
There's 12 points. Arsenal, there's another 8. That's 18.
Hey, hold
You're
on,
safe.
hold on. I do need y'all to do me a favor this weekend. Is it at Molyneux or is it at Man City?
Oh, it's at Molyneux. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think y'all may be on either 2 or 4 points this weekend.
I love it.
I'm hoping 4 points. You get out of
Yeah.
the relegation zone if Ipswich lose as well.
I like it. I'll take it for sure.
Who else is down there with them?
Palace and Southampton.
Palace. How the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
we did
Eddie
it.
Nketiah is their striker.
We
That's how
did.
that happened.
Yeah, you're right. We did. Our opening show this season. We always do predictions, top 5,
Yeah.
top 8 actually, or whatever. And obviously Palace was on one at the end of last year, so I think we all had them pretty high, and they're in the relegation zone. So maybe what's his name that left was Elise.
Yeah.
Maybe he was more important than we know.
Yeah.
But that's Palace. We don't care about them. Moving to the right, we got Man United, who's always a story. Always fun to make fun of. Always has excuses. Always
14th place.
There's just no defining this fucking team, right? There's nothing. What?
So the last
can't even do it.
the last OKC MUFC pod I did with Tyler and some other guys, I basically said there were no excuses, and the performance that they put out there against Spurs, honestly, like, pretty well pissed me off and put me in a spot of like, there are no excuses for this performance. So I'm kind of lost as a fan because, we've been building up to this season and to potentially making some steps forward. And honestly, watching their first 4 or 5 matches, I thought there was some progress. But that performance against Tottenham was like an absolute joke. I mean, Dalot doesn't track.
Even before the red card.
Van de Ven, absolutely. The first 40 minutes were atrocious. I mean, Van de Ven just goes on a giant 60, 70-yard run, and no one steps up to man him.
You can't.
And
no one can catch him.
But people are, I'm not saying catch him, I'm saying just step over and decide to cut him off.
He is quick.
And on the other side, Dalot quits defending his man who runs to the far post, and Van de Ven just has to do a simple cross, and it's a tap-in.
I think the word to me as an observer is stale. It's like, I don't know who it is that's going to come in and refresh that group. Even if you have some older players, guys you want, dead weight you want to get rid of. Ten Hag has obviously not got this bunch playing at least vibrant and like wanting it. It's dead.
I think in today's game, unfortunately, you need to be a bit of a motivator, and I think he's lacking in that part.
Yeah, players are temperamental.
Or have someone who is a good motivator. A lot of people looked at when Jose was at United. They got second place. We won Europa. We won the League Cup, and he had a coach under him who apparently was like his second, right-hand man, and he was kind of the motivator, or the coach, I guess, and Jose was the motivator, something like that. And when he left, that's when United fell off the next season, and then by November, Jose was out. There's something to potentially, they need a motivator on the staff, and because Ten Hag is not going to be that guy. But I still think, to me, that's kind of a lame excuse. When you put on the shirt, you're getting paid to do it. It doesn't really matter.
Players are becoming softer.
You got to go do your job. Just go do your job.
Players are becoming softer and more sensitive.
There's no excuse for letting a defender. There's no excuse for letting a defender run 70 yards and no one steps up and mark. There's no excuse for Dalot not marking that guy all the way to the back post. I mean, there's stuff like that that's like just inexcusable. So yeah, when I came away from that game, I was like, dude, there's no excuses. This is all on. I don't think it's just Ten Hag. I think it's the players and the Ten Hag.
But who knows? Because when Solskjaer came in there for the first few games, it was like, thank God we got rid of Mourinho. Remember that? And everyone felt that refreshing deal. And then it kind of fades.
Once he got his contract, it fell off.
Yeah.
I mean, like we had good performances after that, but United went 11 unbeaten. They had 8 wins and like 3 draws.
So I was out of town last weekend, and I kept up with things. But so after the Spurs, you drew with was it Villa?
Yeah.
Drew 0-0.
We went to Villa.
I mean, that's not a bad result. It's just
it's
a matter of where you are right now.
Exactly.
That you need results.
Exactly.
Right?
Villa wasn't very good. United weren't very good. Bruno hit the bar on a free kick, which was a good free kick, but it still doesn't go in. And it was the lowest XG game between two, combined with two teams since, I think, 2022. It's like the lowest in 2 years. So it was a pretty boring game. Ten Hag actually switched out his 2 defenders, De Ligt and Martinez, for Johnny Evans and Maguire, who both played. Johnny Evans got man of the match. I mean, both players played well, but potentially you lose that match, you're gone. And he relied on 2 guys that he doesn't normally rely on.
Yeah.
But De Ligt and Martinez were not very good when we played at Porto 3 days before that game. So I think from watching how they played at Porto, he was like, fine, I'm just going to drop you guys so maybe you learn a lesson and play these 2 other, experienced players. But yeah, it's weird. It's really weird, and he's making rotations for, I guess, health reasons, just to keep people fresh in some form.
You're
I don't
in
know.
the Europa League.
It's weird decision making, but I again, just like last season he was doing that for injuries. This season I think he's just trying to find anybody that will work together in a cohesive unit, because that's the struggle.
So then you've got Brentford at home coming up this weekend, is that right?
I think so, yep.
Yeah. Interesting. You never know what you're going to get out of them.
No.
They are...
and you don't know what you're going to get out of United right now either. So.
I know, it should be a pretty good match, right?
Yeah. It could be great, it could be awful, who knows?
Well, I guess to transition off of that United match where we won 3-0, so now everything just starts to click, right? We'd won like 6 in a row. weren't great matches. We won a EFL match against Coventry City. It was ugly. Won a Europa League match in Hungary. But nonetheless, we were getting results. We beat United. Everyone's on a high. We go to Brighton, go up 2-0.
Looking good.
Looking good. As soon as the second half started, we capitulated. 3-2.
Danny Welbeck, baby.
Yeah. My takeaway is that
I would take, but for the record, I would take Danny Welbeck at United right now. By
absolutely.
The way.
You had him.
Yeah.
But I still don't think we know how to get hit in the mouth, because there's a lot of teams that will sit back against us in the first half because they know we're going to be on the prowl, we're going to be doing that, and they'll let us have what we're going to have. Doesn't always work. We scored 2 goals. But as soon as they decide that they're going to go after us, that's a problem. And it happened right away. And we get the momentum. You know, I was listening on the radio. I was coming home. You could just hear the crowd, the momentum. I'm like, we're done. We're going to lose this game. And we just let it go away. And we were just in that hook, you know, just on our heels. They went nuts on us. And so I hate to say it, but maybe it's another life lesson for our team that, look, you're heading in the right direction, but you keep making the same mistakes.
Do you think that's more on the players or Ange? Or is it just Spurs in general?
Spurs in general. It's called Spursy. That's what it's called.
I didn't want to use that term.
There's a name for it. I'm going to get that tattoo maybe New Year's Eve.
Spursy Davy?
Yeah. Ooh, I like that even better. Spursy Davy.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, I still think we are headed in the right direction. People are frustrated with Ange a little bit because he does stay the course. He's even. He doesn't. Everyone's all emotional. Oh, this, oh, that. He's getting us where we want to go, whatever that is. It's better than what we've had. Yeah. But we still, for all the possession we have, 60% in the game or whatever, our final product is just not good enough yet. And I'm willing to give it time. I'm fine with that. But it's a match like that is like, well, tale of two halves, and it got ugly quick, and we just got to learn from it. And if we don't, we keep doing the same things, and we'll always be Spursy. And a lot of teams do that, but we're the top 6 team that never wins anything, so we're an easy target, right? So that's really all I have to say about it. We have West Ham 6:30 locally on Saturday morning.
Another disappointing team.
They are a disappointing team, but boy, they show fangs when they play Spurs because
I saw Paul Wilkins last week, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, just." I was like,
"Guy's not the manager."
I was like, I thought you guys would be a lot better with the acquisitions you made. And
not that manager. He's not good.
Yeah, Lopetegui's he's a strange.
You had him.
Yeah, we had him for a little bit. You know.
I'll let you talk about him. I get a beer.
All right. He'll get you. He'll make you. He'll get you to survive. He'll keep you up. But you know, outside of that, I've been seeing great things. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can move on to Arsenal. Tell us about your team.
That's why I love.
That's why I love. Go ahead. I know. Good timing.
He knew it was coming.
There's a big
so
line.
I'm gonna get a beer so I don't have to listen to this shit. Yeah, we got Bournemouth on the weekend coming up at 11:30 locally. OU plays at 11:45 at home, so I will not be able to watch the game. I'll be watching I will be watching one shithole offense and a great defense, while Arsenal game will be on my phone. So hopefully Arsenal win 4-0. I can be at least happy, and then the Fire Seth Luttrell poster can come out of my back pocket by the end of game time. So yeah, we'll see. I think we're playing really well. We still need a true quality number 9, even though Kai Havertz he's showing out.
He's getting it done, yeah.
He's getting it done. He's scoring. He's assisting. He's pressing. Saka had a scare over the international break, but according to scans and all the Arsenal media, he's projected to play against Bournemouth. He may come off the bench. I don't know who's going to start. It could be Saka, but there's no official word yet. Martinelli had a little pull-up scare. I think he might be out for a game or two, but other than that, it's not as serious as we thought. And
who'd you guys play recently that you guys were either losing or it was a tie?
We were losing to Southampton.
Scored 2?
We were losing to Southampton at home because it was 0-0 at halftime. I was like, okay, don't worry, the goal's coming.
Aren't they like second bottom?
Yes. Yeah, I think they're 18th or 19th. And I saw them on their counterattack. I'm like, okay, we're about to get scored on. We get scored on. I left the pub. I tapped out, left, and that's when Arsenal scored 1, 2, 3. So if I wouldn't have left, Arsenal would have lost that game. So you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome. I do the same thing with OU football.
Except that hasn't worked out quite.
It hasn't worked out this season yet. It's because we have a terrible offensive coordinator. I don't know how he hasn't been fired yet. But,
I know the feeling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially with your guys.
Did you finish on Arsenal? You done what you done with that?
No, we're not yet.
We just got started actually.
Okay. What do I need to hear? What did I miss?
Was that your last match before the
Yeah,
national break?
Southampton was our
It's a
last
struggle
match.
for a little bit, right? Was it 3-1 at the end?
Yeah, ended up being 3-1 at the end. Went down 1-0 early. I was just telling them I left Skinnies. I tapped out as soon as Southampton scored. I'm like, I'm not doing this with
I
Southampton.
saw those posts.
I'm not doing this with Southampton again.
EPL
I'm out of
page.
here. I'm done. I'm like, Tyler, tab me out. I had one beer. It was a $4 tab. I think I tipped him like $8. I'm like, here's more than what I paid for the beer. I'm leaving. And then back-to-back notifications on my phone driving down I-35. I'm like, yay. Good thing I left. And then as soon as I pulled up to my apartment, we scored again. So I'm like, okay, good.
So you're superstitious, is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, and I was like, I do the same thing with OU football, Thunder basketball.
Did you do that this weekend versus Texas?
No, I tried.
Okay.
I tried to, and it didn't work. I
It
switched.
doesn't always work.
I switched bar stools. I moved chairs around. I switched beers. It just didn't work. I knew it wasn't going to work in the first place. Huh? What? Wait, what'd you say? What'd you say?
Oh boy.
How's OSU's record? I'll get to that.
God.
But no, yeah, we have Bournemouth on the weekend at Bournemouth. We should win that game. They don't have Solanke anymore. No Tyler Adams yet, so and they don't have their
Is
back.
that at home or away?
Away.
That's kind of a mess down there sometimes.
It could be
but-
it could be a mess. But over recent years we've done pretty well there. Hopefully we just do like a nice little 2 or 3-0. Don't let them score. 'Cause we got Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, and Timber. I mean that's.
Quite frankly, anywhere you go in the EPL on the road, isn't it a mess? You never know what the fuck.
You always have that superstition. No matter how
awful.
good or how bad you are, you're like, okay, we could either do something here or they're gonna.
But the thing that Arsenal has that travels is their defense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
The
that's
defense
what
and the
keeps
center
you,
defense,
right?
yeah.
Having that backbone and just being able to rely on that, then you just have to nick one chance and you're out of there. Like that's what wins you titles right there, stuff like that.
Or gets you
Now,
second place.
Arsenal hasn't been able to get over that hump yet. But I'm just saying that's what does it. Stuff like that.
Well, what we've seen, I think, from them, unfortunately, the last couple of years, is they're finding ways to win.
Yeah.
Even if it's not pretty. There were games last year where I'm like, God, yes, they're going to drop points, and then you find a way at the end. It's like you don't need to make excuses for it.
Yeah,
If you get the points, you get the points. And
I'm not here to make excuses, but that Man City match, there should not have been 8 minutes added. There should have only been 4 to 5 minutes added. The final whistle should have gone. We should have beaten Man City, and we should be sitting top of the league right now with 19 points.
I missed that one as well. Was there a red card in that? Were you down?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Or actually, no.
Yes, you were in the second half.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
Because
Let me go back
Rice
to that
kicked
game,
the ball
actually.
away.
Oh, that's right. Rice got a second. You get 2 yellows in
Was
like
it
5
Rice?
seconds.
Oh no,
Right.
it was Trossard. Trossard got the
Kicked the
yellow
ball
in that
away.
game.
Oh, that's right.
Oh no, he shoulder bumped that guy.
Yeah,
and they decided to.
We got one
Oh,
fan.
oh
One
my
fan
God.
showed up.
We have a City fan.
We're not talking Bayern
What
Munich.
in the world?
Yeah.
No, I can't remember what game Declan got the. Oh,
That was
Brighton. Brighton. Declan got the red end. Yeah.
That was a draw.
Yeah. If he
He's
doesn't.
a big cheater anyway. That
Well-
makes sense. Big cheater for me.
And again, I can't remember who the ref was in that game, but he's a twat anyway. So.
They're all freaking like.
Well, whoever ref the.
We've been going over this for years, but
Yeah.
the level of competency amongst the English refs is just
the guy that ref the Arsenal PSG game, I think, was like Leandro Trossard's doppelganger twin brother. I like that guy because he's like, hey Leo, you look like me. I'm going to help your team win. So I want him to ref all of our matches.
So let's face it, as it's shaping up, City, Arsenal, Liverpool seem to be the top 3
The top
right
three,
now.
Yeah.
Everyone-
Does anybody think Liverpool's gonna do you think they can stick it out? They can challenge.
It takes one injury on their back line or Mo Salah going down, and they're gonna drop.
But
I think Arne Slot's a great manager.
He really is.
But I think it's going to take either one.
He also has a great team. I don't know. I haven't bought the Slot.
It's going to take
yet
one
because
injury.
he has a great team as well.
It's going to take one injury or one loss from a team that they shouldn't lose to. Like, well, I said like Forest, but Forest said they're the most surprising team out of any team in the Premier League right now.
Oh my gosh.
I predicted them to finish bottom with only, I think, 4 wins. Is all I gave them. So
Yeah, they are putting together quite.
They're in 10th right now.
After the whole Nuno thing at Spurs, I did not like him.
Yeah.
He went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
You had him. But he's doing something there, I have to admit. They're fired up.
They are.
And they're great on the counter. Their counters are beautiful. They beat Liverpool, right? It was beautiful.
Yeah. They beat
made
Liverpool
them
at
pay.
Anfield.
They made them pay. Liverpool, I think the surprise, if you talk to any of their fans, is Gravenbach. That was the question mark about whether he was going to be able to fill the shoes, and he's overperformed expectation-wise, and so I think that gives them the hope that they think that's where they were going to be kind of mediocre in his spot. But again, we've only played 7 matches, so things are barely taking form. But you're starting to see what teams have and what they don't, their tendencies, and
Y'all continue talking. I'm going to go to the boys' room.
Okay. Yeah, take that mic off. Or you can leave it.
I don't need them to hear my piss in the toilet.
Okay.
Wait, he's not taking the mic into the bathroom?
No.
What are we paying him
You wouldn't
for?
hear anything.
What are we paying him for?
You wouldn't hear anything anyway.
Just little toots.
Okay. Well, why don't we go over to the matches for next week? See what we got going on. You got, as mentioned, Spurs, West Ham. I would think we'd win 2-1 on that or something like that. Those are always an ugly match. It's kind of the bottom, not the bottom. It's at Spurs, but the teams in London that don't win trophies hate each other enough to like want to make life hell for each other.
Yeah.
Whether West Ham's in 16th spot or 3rd, they always give a shit. And so. Oh, that's just the Spurs. Okay. Try this again. I'm getting it wrong. Leagues.
Only I had my phone.
Yeah, right? Okay, fixtures. Fulham, Villa. That's actually not a bad match. I think Fulham's capable of a lot.
Dude, they did pretty well against City.
Yeah.
What'd they lose, 3-2?
Yeah. Right after Forest, they're my surprise team.
Yeah.
Fulham is 8th in the table.
They're doing good.
Villa's 5th in the table. So I would think that match would be pretty good. We've got Ipswich, Everton. Who cares? Although, I mean, it'd be a fun match to watch. But as far as
Everton's on the board finally. So.
Yeah. United, Brentford. We talked about that. What do you think's going to happen?
I'd love to say like a 2-1 or 2-0, but I have no idea. I'm gonna say. I'll just say 2-1.
Yeah.
But my head's like, it's going to be 1-1, and you know it.
Brentford is, historically, in the last 2-3 years under Thomas Frank, they've been this 25% possession kind of team, and they'll make you pay for it. Their wingers are great. They had Tony. They're a little different now, and they get a little more possession, and they have a little more purpose outside of just counterattack. So
Yeah.
Look out for that.
Yeah. I'll tell 10 Hunt.
We're doing predictions.
Okay.
Newcastle, Brighton. That's a great match.
That is a good match.
Up at St. James's Park.
Oh, at St. James.
They're tough at home. I'll go with 2-2. I bet it ends in a draw.
Not a bad little match.
I like a 2-2.
Southampton, Leicester, whatever. Bournemouth,
Party.
Yep. Bournemouth, Arsenal. What do you got? What do you think the final is?
3-0. 3-0.
But someone dies.
Jesus.
Wow.
Kai Havertz brace and
And who dies?
Well,
I'm just kidding. You don't have to put that out there.
Well, I could say a certain.
Fade's like, oh gosh, who dies?
Well, no, I would say I could do a certain
Arteta.
person's name from one of the Euros, but a few years back.
Jorginho?
Yeah. No, I was.
Farteta.
But now 3-0, Kai Havertz brace and a Urian Timber goal. Screw it.
I don't know how to say the guy's name, but it's Semenyenko. He's for Bournemouth. You see, this guy's a good player. Look out for him.
Yeah, defender in the back.
I know. I think he's an attacker. Semenyo.
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 Oh yeah, Semenyo. Yeah,
Wow.
no.
Semen-Yo. He's a Ghanaian
This
player.
is a family friendly.
Well,
mean,
that's
we talked
what the
about
little
butt plugs
edit
earlier.
button's
I was
for,
gonna say,
right?
is this a family-friendly bar that we're at right now?
But that'd be the only guy I worry about.
So, yeah, I mean, I would worry about Tyler Adams, but he's still injured, nursing a hamstring, so I'm not worried about him.
Let's go down the line. Wolves and United, or Wolves and City. What's going to happen?
Yeah, Wolves City. I don't. That defense is so hurt. I don't think Craig Dawson put a number on Holland when we beat him last year, so maybe that could happen. But I think I don't see it happening. I think we'll get a goal because you always get a goal against City, but probably 3-1, something like that.
3-1
for City.
You going with that?
Yeah, I was going to say 3-0, but then he said they always score, so I was like, all right, 3-1.
I'll go 2-1 City.
I want to say 2-1 Wolves,
Right.
but
Wishful thinking.
Holland has not scored a goal since he told Arteta to stay humble. So hopefully that stays true. Maybe he picks up a knock during the game and he has to go out early, and then Wolves do a cheeky 1-0 win, and Arsenal and Liverpool both win on the weekend and send City down. And then the charges start becoming more and more true, and then they get relegated. So yeah, give me 2-1 Wolves.
Okay.
If
got
Wolves
faith.
win,
Faith.
that's my score line if Wolves win. But yeah.
That's what my heart says, but my head says 4-0. City.
Right. Yeah.
And the match of the weekend, Liverpool hosting Chelsea. That's a good one.
Tasty,
Two
tasty.
new managers.
Yeah.
Like you said, 7 matches in, things should start kind of.
It's at Anfield?
Yeah, it's at Anfield. Start playing out. Chelsea's capable of playing some beautiful football, but they've also had some results that were less than flattering. So they've had some peaks and some average games, right? But that's still a very sexy game on paper. That'd be a good one to go to the pub if anyone wants to go to Skinny Slim's. Not Edmund.
I'll say
Not
3-2
Edmund.
Chelsea.
Huh?
3-2 Chelsea.
3-2 Chelsea.
Cole Palmer, the winner.
I'd
Who
go
else?
3-2 Liverpool on that one.
I'll go with the upset.
Yeah, I'll go with Desmond 2-2.
Huh?
2-2.
2-2?
I agree with Lucas too.
That's going to be a good game. And then on Monday, we've got Forest hosting Palace. Again, Nuno and his team are bringing it. Palace has underperformed. They're nothing like we thought they'd be.
Give me 3-0 Forest, because I know damn well Eddie Nketiah will not score for Palace. So I hate Eddie Nketiah still.
Yeah,
even
he's
though he's out of the
brutal.
club.
He's brutal.
Terrible player.
Okay, which guy, are you still in EFL Cup, FA Cup, anyone? Are you in EFL Cup still?
EFL
You are?
At least. I'm not sure.
EFL. We beat Coventry in maybe the ugliest game I've ever seen.
Wolves
so
are
we're
out.
still in.
Let me go to FOTMOB and see who else
Yeah.
left in.
FA Cup doesn't start till January.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So EFL Cup, that stuff is probably the next round is on the horizon. But
Yeah, we beat my lower team that I support, Bolton. We beat Bolton 5-1. So we're still in.
the next round of
Hayden just
games
likes
are
to pick
basically
a team in every
Halloween
league for
weekend.
the
or
Halloween Wednesday the 30th.
Brighton, Liverpool,
Brighton,
yeah.
Liverpool.
United, Leicester.
United, Leicester, Newcastle, Chelsea.
Tottenham, City. Of course, we fucking drew City.
Hey,
I know this is a
I don't want-
family-friendly show, but fuck it.
hey, I don't want
It's at home.
I don't want City winning a trophy, so I'm actually rooting
Well,
for
this
you
is
guys.
the lowest hanging fruit.
I'm rooting for you guys.
The EFL Cup is the lowest hanging fruit, and we draw City.
Yeah.
We drew them in the FA Cup last year, so what is
Yeah.
it? Spursy again, right?
So really, you guys are just cursed, honestly. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
they
You
are-
guys cursed.
I'm cursed.
And
In more
Arsenal,
ways than football.
Hey, Kansas
yeah.
State's doing all right.
Arsenal have Preston away. I mean, if we can't win at Preston, we have issues, especially with our backups. I mean, our backups are still Premier League proven players.
And
so.
when does Champions League pick back up?
Champions
I think
League?
it's right after
fixtures.
this weekend, I think.
The week before
Really?
the EFL Cup, so the 22nd. 22nd.
Okay, so that's
Next week?
And is the Champions League, you're playing 8 different matches? Is it the same as
Yes.
Europa?
Yeah, so it's like
Interesting.
But it's not home and home or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, like
just play
we had
round robin
PSG at
and
home,
five.
Atalanta away, and then we got Shakhtar Donetsk at home on the 22nd. And really the only good game that week is
Real and Dortmund.
Real and Dortmund at the Bernabeu. And then the Wednesday, Barca at home to Bayern.
Ooh,
May see another 8.
This may not
8-2.
be a bad format. It's the
As of right
typically
now,
the-
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Do I kind of miss the home and home with the
Sure.
groups? Yeah. But I'd say give it a year or two with the table.
It's
and
still
the
a good
format.
representation of your body of work.
And you
makes
get-
you go to the next round.
And
or
I think you get
whatever.
there's like 4 additional teams. It used to be 32, now it's 36.
But we're
there's
still
4
just
other teams
adding
that
more
have a chance
games
to
onto
get in.
these players, which
Well,
I
that's
just
the point.
I just think is
Right.
ridiculous.
See, instead of 8 games, I think it should be 6. It should be 6 games, just like the regular group stage, how it used to be home and home with the 3 teams that you draw from your group, instead of these 8 games. Like that's just 2 extra games of 180
I mean,
minutes.
as much as we
combined.
love soccer and football, like we want to watch it, but at some point, it's going to be at the detriment of the players and the teams.
Yeah.
And so it's like, then how much do we really want to, root for this?
If you don't have depth, you're screwed.
If everybody's injured,
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how
How fun is
Arsenal is.
that?
Arsenal's got like 5 or 6 injuries right now. Thank God we have depth, and we're still winning in the league and the Champions
you should look
League
at
right now.
Chelsea and United last season.
Well, yeah, you see, yeah. that was the injured derby. That's what that was.
We were zombie teams walking, man.
Oh yeah.
What did we miss? Anything?
I
I
don't
mean, we can talk
think
about
s-
some other leagues or La Liga, stuff like
So, yeah,
that.
we can look at La Liga. Let me see if.
I think Barca had their first loss since we last talked. They're
Let's
still,
see, La
they're still
Liga.
doing well.
Barcelona's top of the league with 24 points. Real Madrid second on 21. Atletico 17 and Villarreal 17.
That's pretty typical, right?
And look at this.
Barcelona's off to a heck of a start under Flick.
Yeah.
How do you say their name? Osasuna?
Osasuna, I think.
Osasuna
Right,
in
something like
5th
that.
with
Lucas,
15
do you watch
points.
any other leagues other than
No,
EPL?
it's been
Just
EPL.
EPL?
Yeah.
MLS or anything?
Like no, I want to, but I can't for
Have
some
you,
reason. I can't get.
have you
into
been to an MLS game at all?
it. A long time ago.
Where?
It was Kansas City.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Wizards or the Sporting?
It was Wizards at the
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Nice.
I saw the Wizards in United
Oh, really?
back in whatever it was. Berbatov came, Scholes came. Not a lot of the
Oh,
players
when we were
came.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was at Arrowhead.
Was
That
I,
would've been fun.
was I born then?
I don't know.
Yes.
I think even Jimmy Nilsson may have been keeper for.
If
KC.
Berbatov was there, you were born.
Okay. Again, I didn't.
Berbatov was the Spur, by the way, if you don't know.
If
Before
he said
I'm aware.
Cantona and like, Robbo or something, then no.
I think it was 2010 or 11.
Yeah, that sounds right.
somewhere in
Yeah,
there,
that sounds
so.
right.
What
What's
about
up?
Serie A?
I was looking at.
MLS.
Well, I was looking at MLS because there's only one more match before
I
playoffs.
think by the end of the
Inter
season,
Miami
we need
might
to
break
all
the
have.
points
We need to,
record.
we need to all have an MLS team. I don't even
Inter
know.
Miami already won the Shield, the Supporters Shield or
I
whatever.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that. But I
So-
think they're going to break like the points record.
Yeah, I mean my team in MLS is LAFC.
You
Why?
and Trent. I'm
Why?
a Portland
Why?
Timber.
I really don't know. I mean, LA Galaxy is the better of the two, so I'm like, you know what? Give me the underdog of
I
LA.
want to say, was it the documentary? I mean, like I watched this.
Oh, maybe Trent's a
LA.
Galaxy.
It was not the Gareth Bale moment.
what
I
he
mean,
is.
I can't remember.
I was like, oh, it's a Spurs guy, but I'm like, fuck it, he scored. But yeah, I mean, it's all but locked up pretty much.
They still got to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Western Conference is all
This is
but locked
America.
up.
We play playoffs. Okay?
Yeah, we play playoffs here. Toronto has a slim chance to get in over Montreal, but
So you're saying we're coming down to it, the playoffs?
yeah, there's one more match
Oh, shit.
before playoffs because
Okay.
they play 34 and
Give us
they're
some
on
material to
33
talk about
right now.
coming up. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so MLS it's probably going to be Inter Miami and either LAFC.
Are we really
or-
going to end on MLS? What's the big?
Oh, no, no,
What's the
let's
big
Go to,
bang?
go to Bundesliga.
Bundesliga is pretty odd.
Bundesliga?
Surely Bayern is. I actually have not paid
I think
attention.
Bayern and Leipzig are tied on points.
And Leverkusen is down.
isn't
obviously
Stuttgart
they
doing
lost.
okay?
Stuttgart.
Yeah, they're eighth.
Stuttgart's at 8th with 9 points. Dortmund at 10 points.
Oh, is it Frankfurt at 3rd? Is that who I was
Yeah.
looking at?
Yeah,
Maybe
Frankfurt's
it's Frankfurt.
3rd.
So Jurgen Klopp has gone to RB Leipzig as their
And they're pissed.
head of everything. whatever.
Dortmund fans are pissed.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of a diss, man. I mean, for a guy that could have just sat back and pretty much got whatever he wanted, he landed on Leipzig.
The one group that
That's-
isn't complete, like
And the
half
former
owned
East
by
Germany.
fans.
Yeah,
I've
right.
been, I've
It's
been
corporate
to,
owned.
I've been to Leipzig. It's you don't want to be there. Maybe he's working remote. He's probably in the heart of Bavaria somewhere, just kicking back, taking phone calls. I don't know. It's awful.
I know you mentioned Serie A earlier.
Yeah.
Napoli's on top with 16
Oh.
points, and then Inter's
By the
with
way,
14.
Napoli's
By the
playing
way,
well.
What's the deal on Christian Pulisic stepping aside for two guys that they PKs and they both missed them?
Yeah, they both missed them.
They power played him and he should have stepped up. He was made the penalty taker, right? Did you hear
Right,
this? And
right.
he stepped aside. What a pussy. Seriously. And same to the manager. The manager should have just been like,
But what if? Okay, I've seen plenty
Ridiculous.
of players that are in form give penalties to other guys who are not as in form to try and get them some confidence. So
Yeah,
what if?
so like-
Again, I understand. He's playing the nice
So
guy.
both of those were
What if he's
that
just
was the case?
What if he's just trying to be like, look, I'm in form. Like, if this gets these guys some confidence and he's trying to be chill about it,
So
I don't see the big deal.
That reminds me of Aubameyang, Lacazette. Like if one got injured and came back and didn't score, and
I don't like
they
it
would give a
because
penalty to one or the other, then they would start scoring again.
they're
So-
picking on Americans. They think they're weak. They're like, you know what? I am from Italy. You will move out of my way. I don't like
we
it.
can always bring up World War II if we need to.
It's true. Mussolini.
I don't know.
El Douche.
Beto's right there.
El Douche.
Well, see, one of those was I saw some video of it. It was Abraham. It's Tammy Abraham.
Yes.
And yeah, it looked like Pulisic's reaction was kind of one of those. We'll deal with this later.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's not going to make a scene on.
Well, I
the
think it's
field.
been resolved now.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not going
yeah,
to
yeah.
happen.
I think he was
It's
just trying not to be a
Pulisic from now on
D-bag.
out.
They're
Yeah.
0% for they're 0 for 2 on
Yeah.
stealing Pulisic penalties. And
Well,
so,
yeah. Now he could be like, y'all suck. Give me the ball.
Right.
And he can also show them his FOTMOB stats too, because he's first in FOTMOB rating on AC Milan. He's the top goal scorer by 3. He's got 5, and everybody else has 2. And then assists, he's in second, but that's behind Rafael Leao.
I love to see him in form. I mean, it's great that
yeah,
he's got
I
it
love
back.
it. I love it.
I mean, granted, part of it at Chelsea was his injuries, but it's just great to see him back in form and doing well. Hopefully, it can translate on the international stage. So,
I hope so, especially under Pochettino, man.
yeah,
That'd be nice.
that would be nice.
All right. Well,
Yep.
all right, guys. Appreciate the 2 filler inners. That's been great. People that don't know, come out to Social Capital for this whole Halloween bit they've got going on. Trivia is about to start on Wednesday nights, is why we recorded a little earlier.
Oh, nice.
But there's a lot going on there. They're always really eager to let us come out here and record.
Heck
so
yeah.
appreciate that, and watch us.
And don't forget Skinny Slims for the game.
Yep, Skinny Slims.
Which one?
matches.
Which one?
Oh,
OKC.
all of them. Norman especially.
I was thinking a road trip to Watanga. If
The
you're up-
Watanga? Good call.
Or Sealing, somewhere up
Miami.
in there.
Austin,
Yeah, Miami.
Austin, tell us where
Woodward.
the pubs are in
That's-
Watauga.
Actually, we could go on tour.
That's true. We should go
We
see
should
the
do a
Miami,
tour.
the Guyman, the Idabel. That'd be good.
Oh, we got a busboy
well,
here.
Thanks, bus. Bus
All right,
boy
guys.
He looks like a city
We
kid.
will see you next time. Please thumbs up.
Oh, that's nice.